Hi, I'm Kathy Case, owner of Takeoff. Today we're meeting with Michael McClanahan, who has created virtual estimates now. Michael's second generation with 50 years spanning all aspects of the flooring industry. His attention to detail and commitment to customer satisfaction has resulted in his reputation to be one of the top installation experts and managers in the entire country. He's written processes and programs for retailers to accurately transfer information. And through this, he's eliminated errors and inconsistencies at all levels of the sales process. He's created easy to follow processes for companies like Home Depot, lumber liquidators, floor and decor, as well as small retailers and startups. Michael, you went from being a contractor to becoming a software developer. Tell us how you made that switch.
Well, that's an interesting movement. In all of the estimates that we have done, which is thousands and thousands over the years, from Home Depot to a lot of the box stores and a lot of retailers, we acquired a lot of information from customers as to what they want in the process. And really, what we've discovered is that customers want to know how much it costs first. And then, of course, they want to know when it's going to be installed, and they want to select color and style. And one of the installers one of the big companies I used to work for said, customers always have their checkbook out when we go to their house, and we can't take their money until we get the information back to the store. And the store gives them the estimate. And that was why we developed this, is literally to get to the point. And we can do it online today, literally. This program can be used for several different things simultaneously.
So you mentioned how they want to know what the cost is. I saw a statistic that was published last week by LinkedIn where they said that 82% of the customers don't even want to talk to a salesperson until they're ready to buy. And it sounds like you've made that leap to give them an opportunity. How is it that they can get an idea of the cost before they come into your store?
Well, from the beginning of any floor covering project process, essentially, in the big picture, there's 28 questions that you need answered to give somebody an estimate. Realistically, that narrows down to about 10 on the average project. But with that in mind, if you can ask what kind of product do they want to install, what is the surface, is it wood or concrete, and get measurements, find out what job tasks they have, you're there. And generate the materials list, you have everything you need to give an estimate. It's that simple.
Do I understand that they can actually go into the software before they even go into a showroom to get an idea?
Yeah, in fact, let me show you the front side of the program. I'm going to share my screen here. This is the front side of the program. And literally, these are the estimators while they're in the home, interviewing a customer with a phone call, and going through this series of questions, you'll arrive at the end result. In addition, you can. Some people are putting it on their websites currently as a link. Customers are entering their own information, and they arrive at the estimate, and the retailer is notified immediately that the customer just did the estimate. Here's the
That's
questions. What kind of product? I'm sorry, Kathy, you were saying?
no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
What kind of product, from laminate to hardwood to vinyl plank to engineered hardwood, porcelain, solid stone, carpet? What surface? Is it stairs, floors, walls, wet walls, shower pans. Would you like us to remove your existing flooring or surface? And after about 6 or 7 more questions, with a full-blown estimate for the project. Now, this is labor, but in addition, it comes with an entire materials list for what they need to buy. Now, when you consider that this could be done over the phone or on a Zoom call, and you have now arrived at an estimate with labor and no materials to that, you now know without driving, without troubling the customer to go to their home, whether they're a qualified buyer or not, and will proceed with the project. Our experience mostly is when you get to the bottom line on a phone call with a customer and explain to them your entire project, selecting the product you did and those job tasks, you will be spending $4,500. Most customers ask immediately, when can you do it?
That's great. So how do you address the different costs based on the different areas? I mean, installation in New York is going to be different than installation in Florida versus California.
That is done through a control panel, which each account that subscribes to the program has their own control panel of which they can edit all of the pricing. They can also edit their own descriptions and their help buttons. There's help buttons on each item. They can change those as well.
How do you address the people who, the retailers that will not install until they've actually measured the home?
That now we did 1,849 estimates with this program. We're an installation company. We're good at doing estimates. Of those 1,849 during the past 3 years, we never entered the house. And we closed 8 out of 10 of those jobs. Now, there was a pandemic as well, right? So that helped. The pandemic's not a good thing, but it did help. A lot of guys are going to want to go out and do the estimate anyway, but they've got a qualified customer. That's the difference. Most times, retailers are trying on the front side to schedule an appointment first. They're not even in the approach, qualify, close of a sales process. They're busy scheduling an appointment. Then they drive, they go to the house, they do the estimate, bring it back to the shop, put it in the system, send it off to the customer. And the average closing rate with that process is 3 out of 10, statistically speaking.
So typically, if the customer called in and you were putting a quote together, would you give them any of the information that you've gathered as far as square footage is concerned? Or would you just give them the bottom line number once you've plugged in all the answers that they've provided to you? How would you suggest they handle that?
Well, my experience, quite frankly, is that customers prefer line items. They like seeing everything that's happening. And the truth of the matter is that transparency, customers like it. They know what's going on. They also can choose not to have you tear out carpet and do it themselves because they see the price, or baseboard, or moving their own furniture. So I like line items. However, what you're saying is accurate. Oftentimes they want to know if it's 6,000, 4,000, 8,000, so they know if they can even proceed. And as you said, the study that LinkedIn did, people don't want to have somebody in their home until they find out approximately where they're going.
One of the
There's a
concerns.
question here I see from a Facebook user. It does give exact square footage, and it also gives the overage on each item. And each subscription can edit the amount that they prefer to have as overage. We generally work, for example, on vinyl plank at 10% overage. That can be edited and gone to 15%.
Okay. And I
And then
see
he
as
says he'd
part of,
hate for them to go somewhere else for a cheaper price. The fact of the matter is they're doing that no matter how you do the estimate. But establishing confidence and being transparent on the front side, quite frankly, once a customer is confident, customers don't like going to 5 places. They want to go to one. And if you can establish that confidence on the front side, that customer will be yours.
so it's pretty clear that your software is geared toward the retail industry, correct?
It is. It's geared straight for that, but also for the flooring installers that do estimates or estimators. It's a remarkable program for efficiently getting an estimate done. And we've been using it in the house for well over 3 years, literally exclusively. We don't write it down on a piece of paper. We don't use other programs. We enter the information as we go in the house on an iPad through this program. And ultimately, we have all the information we need right then and there to actually quote the job. With one of the retailers we worked with, one of the box stores, we went through the experiment for about 6 months of literally offering them the quote in the house, product and everything. It was very effective. You've got to be well organized to do it, though. And there was only a couple of the stores, of the box stores, that actually could get themselves organized enough to actually pull it off and then take the money.
I love how you have the step by step asking all the questions, because we certainly see oftentimes in retail situations where they're hiring new people and they have to go through that learning process to think about all those things. And your software guides them through it. How long does it take somebody to learn your software based on some of the simplicity that you've built into it?
Okay, I'm gonna go through that from, like, the front side. I've had 70-year-old women that 70 and 80-year-old women that go into this program and do their own estimates as customers. They have no problem with it. To learn it on the front side as a salesperson, to just get through the program, it takes minutes to learn it. To learn the administrative side, how to change the pricing, manage, because you can have up to, well, you can have as many users as you want, but an administrator can then manage all of his salespeople. He can see all the estimates are doing. He can see how they're following up. So this works as a customer relation management system as well.
Okay. Once the proposal is done, where where does your software go from there, as far as, does it get involved in pick tickets? Does it interface with accounting?
Uh, it can. We have APIs that work with QuickBooks.
Okay.
But currently, our beta testing just ended back in June. So it technically was launched in July for
Okay.
subscription. And we're still working on who are we going to integrate with? Because there's many great programs out there. RFMS, there's QFloors, there's FloorSoft, there's so many of them. And it kind of depends how that goes. But most people currently are entering those line items in whatever program they're using anyway as they come back to the shop. It's just not instant. The other part that is pretty exciting that we're launching next week is that the materials list is going to integrate into another part of a control panel where a retailer can list the products that they want to integrate with the program. A lot of that is going to need to be private labeled from what I'm understanding, meaning that some of the big manufacturers aren't going to allow pricing to be readily available in some of this stuff. So, but to make that integrate for a full package price with each retailer, they can certainly enter as many products, probably private labeled, that will integrate with the materials list in this program.
Certainly, we realize that the pricing is something that has to be adjusted and customized to a specific retailer. Have there been any other requests for customized work on your software for a specific retailer outside of that pricing?
Yes, there has. And actually, it was an oversight on my part. Um, when we thought of everything over the past 5, 6 years doing this, right? What happened is one of our retailers that wanted this, he wanted to put it on his website, but he didn't do tile, and this program does tile. So what we did is we rewrote the code so that there's a checklist, and literally, rather than just eliminating products that you can install, we went through every question that is asked, and now the retailer can decide whether he even tears out carpet or not, or whether he actually removes and replaces baseboard or only does shoe mold. So the list of questions, they'll be able to decide which ones they want displayed in their program. So it'll be exclusive. So they can eliminate the tile, they can do carpet, not do carpet. They can do laminate, they can not do laminate. And then they can do the baseboard and go through. And that was an oversight, because the truth is there are stores. Oh, there's one store, well, there's 2 big box stores out there that don't do carpet at all. So this would be of little use to them, right? The carpet
Yeah.
part.
We have a question, and I think we might have just answered it, asking if you customize the program.
Yeah, there's many bells and whistles inside the administrative part. The other part that we're doing, which there's a catch to this one, but we create subdomains. We don't create the subdomain, but people can create a subdomain for their website, and we can private label the program so that their own logo is on there. And then the entire program can be run through their website as well, so that they have exclusive use of their emails, etc. So the program will look like each retailer owns it, and
That's
it's
great.
exclusive to them.
That's a great way to have them show value to their community, that it looks like they've invested in creating that software.
Absolutely. Interestingly enough, I was involved again with the Big Orange Box for many, many years back in the 90s when they first embarked. Well, not quite. They had embarked on installation in 91. I got involved in 96. And they kept trying to figure out a way to be able to do this, literally get a customer an estimate right off their website, says this evolved. And I noticed recently Home Depot has a very primitive version of an estimating program on their website. Makes me smile because it's not getting to the end result, but it's effective. And the other interesting part is that retailers, Home Depot's not the biggest threat to them anymore. It literally is going to be Amazon, Wayfair, Walmart is selling flooring. And each one of them are out there trying to find installers, and they're trying to figure out a way to give them estimates. We actually did installations for Wayfair for a while, and they're still selling installations through their websites, but they're also advertising all the prices of their product on the internet. And remarkably, people are buying it, having it put in their garage, and then having somebody come and install it.
Where are you seeing Walmart actively selling flooring? Are you
On their
familiar?
website, if you go to the website and
Okay.
put in the search engine, laminate flooring, you'll find they're offering a lot of products, or vinyl plank flooring.
Um,
And the
you
interesting
mentioned,
part of that is they prefer to deal with a local retailer, but often they can't to proceed.
you had mentioned that you thought of everything, and we all know that as quickly as you finish a software, something else happens in the industry. And it's great that you recognize these things and make adjustments. How quickly are you to respond to clients asking you to customize or make adjustments in your software?
Oh, I think it could go. Oh, for people that already have the software? That's full time for
Correct.
me at this point. Right. I'm literally responsive, and I think I go as long as maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes before I answer the call. Seriously, it's just automatic right now. And as we expand, we have about 140 subscriptions. I am. We would like to have millions, right? Obviously, but with that in mind, that has also been a help to us because each one has a little different angle, and we're trying to adjust to all of that, especially the one where they didn't do tile and they want to just do certain products, right? That helped. So I am interested in feedback always. In fact, you and I even had a little session several months ago, and I got some great feedback from you, and I did make adjustments to the program. It
Yes.
was a pleasure talking to another expert estimator through this process.
We have a question. Can we help you get the bugs out? I think that's part of your feedback comment.
Well, any feedback with someone using the program that finds something that could be better, absolutely. We want to know. And there is bug reports. Actually have no bugs in this program. This program, we spent 2 years trying to break it over and over and over again. But I have a remarkable software engineer. He's brilliant. Mostly he's brilliant because he listens to flooring installer, which most software engineers aren't interested in listening to a flooring installer. But when you get teamwork together, and when you start working off of the Six Sigma concepts of trying to reduce waste and decrease defects, well, this is the end result. I see Liz is asking about how the costs work. You know what? This might be easier if we share the screen one more time. Let me go there. Am I sharing yet? There we
Yes.
are. So this is the control panel for the SAP SKUs. And just for example, here's the vinyl plank. Well, here, let's go down to a simpler SKU. That's for treads. Laminate install. There's two prices here. This is a test program, by the way, that we want to pay our cost installer at $1.25, but we're going to charge $2.29. To edit that, simply can change that price to $2.65 and change this price to $1.35. And now all of your estimates will reflect that. And each retailer will want to go through each of these prices. The prices that I'm showing currently are actually real prices, but more for the western part of the United States. So that's how
Michael,
that works inside of the control panel.
Michael, I think the question about cost was more related to the cost of having a license for your software than the costing of
Oh, I
the
see.
product.
Well, it's right at $40 a month for one user. It goes to approximately $55 a month for 5 users and goes up to $80 a month for 10 users. And we can do custom programs. We're working with some of the buying groups right now that are wanting literally 600 and 700 users. So we're going to create a level of access. Well, we already created the level where they're going to be the administrator, and then they're going to offer this to their dealers, and they're going to
That's
manage the estimates. And we
that's
have the
a
capacity to do that for one super organization to manage thousands of users if they so feel that they want to.
we have a
In
sense.
addition, there
Sorry,
is
go
no
ahead.
setup fee. However, we do charge $18 a month for the subdomain and logo implant, which creates their own subdomain for the program.
Okay. Somebody asked the question to compare your software to RFMS.
Not the same. RFMS is an extraordinarily wonderful program. How is it different from RMFS? This can be used by a person that used to work for Verizon selling cell phones that just entered the flooring business as a salesperson. That's the difference. RFMS, I can run it. I've been in the flooring business since I was born, but the average salesperson can't. It's a difficult program to use. It's for pros. I think you use it, Kathy. So don't you?
I
Right,
do.
right. So
For com-
that's, go ahead.
for commercial work, that's the kind of estimating that I do.
Right.
We use RFMS along with
Still, it's a
the other.
complicated program for the average person. And the same is true with Measure Square. They're trying to change some things in their world too, but it's interesting. And again, I've got a lot of experience as an installer. Many thousands. We've had over 400 installers that worked for us at one time for many years. Installers don't use diagrams. They don't have any need for them. And the truth is, customers aren't that interested in diagrams. Actually, the new thing is they want to see the visualizers. They want to take a picture of the room, see it. Pictures are better than diagrams. And this program has one of the features is that customers can upload their own photos so that you can see the photos, or you can upload them for them so that you can all go through them room by room, identify the fireplace that may have to have a pattern to cut around it, et cetera, all of the little details. So Liz is asking if can we use it for commercial flooring? To be honest with you, you could. You could certainly use it for multifamily stuff, uh, apartments and that kind of thing, but it really doesn't qualify for commercial flooring. Kathy's already been through the program once. I think she would agree with me.
I
This would
would.
be a tough.
The question was asked my opinion on your software, and I will tell you, having known my daughter actually works in a retail showroom, and I hear every day about the estimate or the salespeople forgetting, is there underlayment? Do I have to deal with baseboard? Asking all those questions like your software does makes it real simple to train somebody to be a salesperson in a showroom. So I
It
think
does.
that's excellent.
Agreed. And the program won't let somebody submit if they miss a question. It takes them back to it, big red letters. Hey, we need you to answer this question. And it's binary. Program software is all binary. It's yes or no, right? And if you don't have one of the two, it won't close out. So we designed that specifically so nothing can be missed. Now, one of the objections that I've had with a young retailer in Philadelphia, he said, yeah, but you can't trust customers. They can't measure correctly. That's not true. That is so wrong. Customers actually do a better job than most estimators. And this is over 1,849 estimates that we know this. They not only measure better, they send you diagrams that are detailed. I mean, absolutely detailed in inches and every angle of the room. When they're intent on getting an accurate estimate, believe me, they do it absolutely dead on accurate. We have never had one of them measure short in 1,849 measurements. Never. We have had them measure over. That's been our experience, which that's easy to adjust. Are you still there, Kathy? Hey, Liz.
Happy, but
I think your mic. Oh, there you go.
uh, I like the fact that you were talking about this is really terrific for starts. People are hiring new people all the time, and a lot of times they don't like hiring people who haven't been in the flooring business for just this reason. I mean, it looks to me like this is a good way for that newbie to come in and learn, at least feel somewhat comfortable with getting this information. Because like you said, they forget stuff.
Oh, absolutely. The premise realistically, this has been my experience. We got so it was frustrating to get a name and number of a customer. Call the customer and say, we understand, would you like to get an estimate? And then we would drive out there and they go, well, our uncle's actually going to install it, or we're going to get 5 different estimates, or they find out at the end of the day that it's $7,000 and they can't afford it and won't do it.
So we're talking about saving money. We're saving time, and in saving time, we're saving money for the store.
Absolutely. Well, just out of curiosity, Liz, you were in the retail business, right?
Yes.
If you were to put a price on what it costs just for one estimate to productivity and gas and travel, what would you say it would cost to do one estimate? Drive out and see a person.
Well, of course, we're talking about years and years ago, but with the price of gas, I think with the price of gas, and I think one of the other things that happens is that a lot of times they don't ask enough questions. The salesperson picks up the phone and is in the middle of doing something else, so that he's not going to ask all the questions. They may even get the phone number wrong, but it appears to me with all of this information that you can stay connected to the customer. In other words, you don't have to be thinking about what the questions are. You have them, you figure out what the products are, and you go down with the customer. So before you even go out, maybe you want to go out, there may be something else you want to look at with them, but the point is that you've got enough information for somebody in the store to look at, right?
Right. Well, you know that you're dealing with a qualified customer. Again, the statistics clearly show that 3 out of 10 customers, retailers across the nation, they're getting 3 out of 10 customers. They sell 3 out of 10 estimates that they do. What happened to the other 7 is the question. And when we use this program, statistically, we went to 8 out of 10. So automatically, first of all, you're not driving. In 2018, we did about 2,000 estimates. We only closed 600 of them. So we did 1,400 estimates. And let's just say it was $50 a piece. That's $70,000 worth of waste.
Mm.
I mean, point blank, right? Whereas if you qualify in this program, exactly that. You're right. They don't ask all the right questions. But here's my question to you, Liz, if you were my customer. I'd say, hey, the project looks like it's going to be $6,500. When would you like me to install it? And you can do that right here on a Zoom call. Oh, I think Kathy is back.
Yeah, and I just
Or
want to
they're
make
saying,
just one statement about technology. You know, it's all about technology these days. And I would think that customers would want to know this, like you said, okay, it's going to cost you $10,000. And maybe you thought it was going to cost you 15, or maybe you thought that it was going to cost you less. I don't know.
well, regardless of how that unfolds, you eventually have to give them the price. And I can tell you with all the surveys that we did, women don't like strangers in their house. They don't like the fact that they might get charged more after they start the job. They are always fearful that somebody's going to come late. But at the end of the day, they want to know how much before they're going to proceed. And if you put this off for 10 days by taking this back to the scheduling an appointment, take it back to the store, sending them an estimate, you might as well get to the point on the front side. And this program does that. Hi, Kathy. I'm glad to have you back. I thought we lost you
Yeah,
there.
yeah, we actually had a power surge here, so it shut down my computer. Unfortunately, it flashed right back on again.
Well, cool.
So,
Well, at least Elizabeth was there to pick it up, right? Nice.
yes, thank you, Beth. Thanks for filling in. What would you say are the key points that you really want people to walk away with about your software?
Well, it's like everything brand new. I think I told you the story. I tend to be long-winded sometimes, but when I first bought my first laser measure, the very first one, 10 or 15 years ago, whenever it was, I went out on estimates using a tape measure and my laser measure together for 3 months because I didn't trust it. I didn't believe it would work. And then when I found out that it was more accurate than my tape measure, I used it exclusively, new technology. And this program is precisely that. No one is really going to know for sure unless they just log in and go through it and use it. And then they will understand what it really does. And the truth of the matter is, that's the big takeaway. Sounds scary. Sounds like, no, it's not possible, but you won't know until you try. And the truth is, no harm, no foul. Somebody can sign up today. There's a 10-day free trial. They can mess around with it. If they don't believe in it, they can cancel. So simple enough. And if they call me and tell me that I didn't get enough time with it, I'll extend their free trial so they can get a better feel for it and help
That's
them through
awesome.
it, right? Absolutely help them through it. Help them. I'm happy to input I've done this for years with so many things. I'm happy to help the customers get their SAP SKUs together too, and help them edit that so that their estimates come out correct.
So I would imagine there's still some other points. I know that you had mentioned when we spoke that it's really easy to change out materials if a customer decides, oh, wait a minute, I don't want this product, I want another product. And, if it's going from a ceramic tile to a laminate, obviously there's a lot of changes.
There is, but mostly in any of the custom stuff that would take place, which is what you pointed out during one of our conversations way back. And we've corrected that to where it's real easy to eliminate that now. But to edit from hardwood to laminate is literally a click and resubmit. You click, you change from laminate to hardwood, and then submit it again. And instantly, you're going to have the estimate now with engineered hardwood, or switching from laminate to carpet, or switching from any of those. Tile's a little bit special, especially when you're doing shower pans, showers, backsplashes. So switching from a backsplash to a laminate, well, first of all, you're not going to put laminate on a backsplash. So quite frankly, we might as well start over with a new estimate, right? Or add it differently in the roster, right? Different room. So there's that. How do they contact me? Well, my name is Michael McClanahan. The product, sure. The website, the product is called Virtual Estimates Now. And you can certainly learn a lot about this program at virtualestimatesnow.com. They're showing my phone number as well. The program is literally open on the front end. If you go to the website and you click on Create Estimates, you can go through the program on the front side with no email, no phone number. You don't have to do a thing. You can actually experience it. It's a limited version, however. So if you want to experience the entire version, you're going to need to create an account, 10-day free trial, and you'll have 10 days to experience the entire program. But the program is wide open. So if somebody wants to go there and create an estimate immediately, you can do this.
And I would imagine they can also contact you and schedule a demo if they want
Absolutely.
to walk through the
I
process as
I
well.
love showing off my new program. I absolutely do.
Okay, great. Are there any other closing comments that you'd like to make about the program? Or
No, I think mostly, just mostly it's like the brand new thing that if you don't give it a shot, give it a minute and try it, you will never know. And this is the trend. It is clear that during the pandemic, there was massive amounts of people that were shopping online at that point, and people are getting used to it. And the massive amounts of people that were shopping online during the pandemic are now continuing to do so. Fact of the matter, I rarely leave the house anymore to shop, and it's delivered the next day by Amazon. So easy, right? And yes, there is a trial, Elizabeth, a 10-day free trial. And if anybody is doing it for the 10 days and want to extend it, call me. I'll extend their free trial. And then she asked me where I'm located. I am located in Boise, Idaho, where everybody else is moving to lately, I guess, huh? From what I'm hearing.
and I think
Kathy, I
nowadays,
want to thank you for this, especially, and Michelle and our producer, and of course, a woman of the flooring business, and also Elizabeth for being here today.
but it's great to be able to meet you again, talk with you. I think a lot of your software and what you've put into developing it, and I certainly wish you the best in your success with it.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so much. Yeah, anybody call me, get in touch with me, and we'll set you up and let's give it a try. I believe that everybody will fall in love with this. Truly, gets to the point.
That's great. That's great. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
All right. Take care, Michael.
Bye-bye.